Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Whoa, high energy coming in. Hey, everybody, welcome to Sex and the City. My name is Kevin McCaffrey, and I'm here sweating it up with your gentleman.
John Richard Simmons Daly. Sweating to the oldies.
Sweating to the oldies. Yeah, I'm 38 now, John, in this episode.
Wow.
Not in the television episode, but IRL when this airs. That's
when this airs, not when the episode airs. Well, yeah, you're an old dude. Kristen keeps telling me I'm basically 38, and I have to keep telling her that's another way of saying I'm 37.
I mean, look, I think in that case you're both right. But it's hard to argue that you're not a little more right, I guess, because it is right. 37.
Well, basically, you know what she says, I'm almost 38, which is actually another way of saying I'm actually 35. Is how I should be doing it.
There we go. Richard Simmons disappeared. Is that so? Are you also a disappear guy?
Listen, all I'm saying is you've never seen me and Richard Simmons at the same place at the same time.
Dude, that's true. You know something I have in common with Richard Simmons.
Yes, I actually do know this. God, the Venn diagram of people I know too much about, Kevin McCaffrey and Richard Simmons, overlaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know you both been extinguished by David Letterman.
We both had fire extinguisher spray downs from David Letterman. You can check me out on Insta at Kevin McCaff if you want to see video of that. You can also follow our podcast on Instagram at Sex and the Cityots, and we are on Twitter at Sex Cityots Pod. And I think that's all the business at the top of the app, John. We did get. I want to give a specific shout out to someone who gave us a plug. On hold on one second.
The plug's going well so far.
It's going so good. So our friend Caroline Heil, which I think I got the name right because I said it once before, she gave us a write-up and put us in the Sex and the Cityots Reddit, like a Sex and the City Reddit fan page. Whoa. She gave us a really nice write-up there. Please do rate and review us if you get a chance on the pod. Just the normal podcast app would be great, but this is going above and beyond. And I do want to say we did get a notable ratings bump in the past week. So is it due to this Reddit post by our friend Caroline? It is possibly. So that was very nice.
Thank you, sweet Caroline.
Yeah, sweet Caroline.
Probably the first one to make that joke on her.
Connecting it
I'm
to the
sure
song.
She appreciates her.
Yeah, totally. John, what is there anything before we get into the business of the show here?
If I sound weird, I got a little bit of sun today. I was out in the yard.
You look a little colored.
Yeah.
Let's run that back. Let's not do that. This is not the time. This is good. You look colorful, I should say.
Yes, I got some sun, and then I got oiled up. We had a Sunbum cool down spray that's apparently oil based, and it's like all over me. Okay. And so I am shiny, I'm red, and I'm ready to go.
Great. This episode is titled Lights, Camera, Relationship. It's directed by Michael Engler, who we've spoken about before, and it was written by MP King. This aired on July 20th, 2003, and it hit a perfectly fine rating of 6.43. I have nothing else to say about it besides that.
I just hope that the executives at HBO popped like some bottles of Brut. Like, these are perfectly fine numbers.
Yeah, they popped an affordable but pretty decent champagne to celebrate. Champagne that I guess you get for free when you go to the Prada store, I guess, is something that exists in this episode.
Yeah, I immediately asked my wife, and she'd never been to Prada either, so I'm assuming they're just not making up whole things out of whole cloth or whatever.
Right, because I know this is a thing that happens when ladies go for like.
I'm a Barney's guy.
We're both Barney's guys. This episode is brought to you by Barney's. Wouldn't it be it would be great if we just went straight high-end clothing sponsors after only being sponsored by Dirty Fun Box to this point. Who, if you guys want to check them out, their Insta posts are getting more and more graphic by the day. So
that's honestly hard to believe.
Yeah.
They started out extremely graphic. I wouldn't think that they had room to improve.
It's pretty good that this show's sponsor is the most graphic thing I've seen on Instagram. It's the dirtiest thing I've seen on Instagram. It's the dirtiest, the funnest, the boxiest, dirty fun box. Yeah, but John, lights, camera, relationship. What was this episode about?
This one, you know what? I know it's just like this show's very popular and a lot of people talk about big episodes. And this was like one that caught people off guard a little bit because this is the one where Carrie realizes that her whole life has been the basis for an HBO show and that she's in fact a character on a TV show.
Wow. What's the show?
The show is Sex in the City. She realizes that she is a character in a TV show.
It's a real Truman Show moment.
Truman Show, Gary Shandling show, and it's something like that.
Yeah. Perfect. Let's read the HBO recap of Lights, Camera, Relationship. Carrie is surprised to find that Berger is cool with the trip to her favorite designer haunt, but cold when it comes to a sudden success. Charlotte begins for the first time to imagine a future without a man as, quote, not sad. Miranda has an unplanned overnighter with Steve, and Samantha uses her PR magic on struggling actor Jerry. Yeah.
That sounds, this was kind of a big episode, I think.
I think
that description didn't make it sound super hot.
It was a complicated bunch of words. It was not terribly clear what was happening, I think, there. We've really dug into reviewing the summaries on HBO Go more than I think any other podcast for sure.
They're afraid to go there.
They're afraid to get canceled by HBO Go in this cancel culture we have now. But it's I do think there was some significant stuff here. I feel like we've been closing with the big stuff lately, so now I feel like maybe this time we open big.
Mr. Big.
You talk about Mr. Big, who did not appear in this episode.
What do you think Mr. Big was doing during this time frame?
Just having a wine and saying something with a cool tone of voice that isn't really a joke, but like smiling about it afterwards. That would be my guess. What he's doing. What do you think Mr. Big's up to right
now? Man, I want to say he's getting blown in a hot tub, but did I say that the last time?
No, but that's pretty good. We've talked about how Carrie doesn't give blowjobs. Maybe we disagree about this. I'm pretty sure people have supported me in the DMs about this. So I think this is something that tracks. But ergo, does Big get blowjobs? Not from Carrie, but he's had sexual congress with other people, I'm sure.
When did Carrie not give a blowjob?
I think every time she's ever been with a dude, she didn't give a blowjob. It's just a vibe I get. I just don't think she does that.
Carrie? I don't know. I guess I'm not. I don't get that vibe, but
okay.
I guess we've never seen her actually do it.
Right. Yeah.
We haven't seen full mouth penetration, if that's what you'd call it, Kevin, which I have heard you say that several times.
Yeah, I call it during it. That's how I refer to it while it's happening. I'm just terrible at talking in bed.
I'm really enjoying this mouth penetration.
This is great mouth penetration right now. Full mouth penetration? Yeah, I think that's what you said. John, let me do this real quick. What are you drinking right now?
I'm back on my shit, back on my bullshit. It's American honey, baby. The turkey. That
lovely.
Sweet turkey making love to my mouth.
Having full mouth penetration with turkey whiskey. I'm doing silver tequila on the rocks with a lime. My patented skinny boy margarita. That is what I'm doing.
You should patent that.
I know. The skinny girl.
I don't know how hard it is to patent a thing.
Dude, we should try to patent this show, the word city it. I don't know. That'll be a web extra. We could try to patent something. The city it's go to the patent office. Yeah. And we get scooped by Alexander Graham Bell.
No.
Classic Bell. All right. So let's.
You want to start easy? Let's go Charlotte.
Start easy. Okay.
Well, that's what.
Sure.
No. Oh, that's right. That's the opposite of what you said, isn't it?
It is. No.
I'm no ending your ass.
You are. No but me, Daddy.
No. All right. Well, let's start. If you want to start with the main course, let's go. I mean, there's no bigger piece of meat than a burger.
God, you did it. Give it to me. You're a great start. Also, is Kristen in the room with you right now?
Kristen is in the room, so okay. No swearing.
Well, I was just gonna say, if your very pregnant wife is dying in the heat of that attic, we had John turn off the air conditioning because you could hear it. But if it's people gotta live, so I don't want Kristen to suffer for our art.
Mm-hmm. She's okay right now. She's licking her lips a lot.
Okay. No,
I take that back. She just glared at me like, no, she's fine.
Yeah, I'll cut that out. Don't worry. I have Kristen. You can tell Kristen I always have her back on what I'm cutting out of this.
Kristen, you're being completely excised from each one of these episodes. All right. She approves. All right. So what's the deal? What's going on? Well, Carrie and Berger are walking down the street. First thing I notice, it seems to me that Carrie I questioned whether she was wearing a bra or not, but I guess she is.
Okay.
I don't know. It just seemed like she had some extra bounce going on.
Okay. Personally. Well, we said, I think an episode or two ago, we commented that she has boobs. We noticed that for the first time. That was great. And then
because normally I only look from the neck up on a woman.
Mm-hmm. John's he's a real chin guy. There's some boob guys, some ass men.
John those dimples
is
though.
A dimple fella is what this guy is. But we said her boobs never been better than I think season 6, right? Is what what we commented. Oh, that was when she was like drunk, trying to make things better sex-wise with Berger, and she was like, how about these? And just like threw her boobs in.
Really showed him off. And now, I mean, just imagine if the show continued on into season 7 or 8 or something.
Mm-hmm. Or even like a 6B, perhaps.
6B, 6D. Anyway, enough about that ridiculous stuff. They're gonna meet someone very important, and every relationship has this moment where you go to meet your parents. Psych, you're going to Prada.
Yeah.
Classic Carrie thing.
Classic Carrie misdirect, for sure. And then, but I think there is something real to this where it's like introducing. It's one thing to introduce your significant other, your relatively new significant other, to your friends. It's another to introduce. She's like introducing him to a second circle out now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's also like a circle that we've never seen really in the 6 years of watching Carrie's life under a microscope.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, it's there is a thing where like I'd imagine for you is like the first time you take a girl to like go see one of your favorite sports teams or something.
The first time to take that is I think a reasonable comp where it's like, oh, I'm taking a girl to see the Cubs for the first time. Taking her to Wrigley Field. Is she going to enjoy it? And is she going to get it? And it's like, that's
right. And he dutifully like plays along, and it's like. It's very bizarre because they go down an escalator and there's an army like the terracotta soldiers in China. There's a fucking army of mannequins watching you come down the escalator. And I think they're wearing clothes, but when you get off the escalator, they're not wearing clothes. It's weird.
The mannequins?
Or Berger makes a note like at the clothing stores I go to, they sell clothes or whatever.
Right. Yeah, this has to go on a list of places that you and I should like try to go in real person and be like, is this? I
like you say, try to go. They're gonna not let our dumbasses in.
I mean, I don't know if anywhere exists anymore. I guess stuff's opening back up, but yeah.
No, I would totally believe if these people did not let me in. They would. No.
Well, but then you wave all your Sex and the City, it's sponsorship money in their face, like Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman, and go, big mistake, huge, if they don't let you shop there. So yeah, Carrie takes him in after her classic misdirect quote and introduces him to her guy friend there, who, I mean, yeah, you would think the Prada guy would love Carrie because she just spends way more money than she has there all the time. So it's like, oh,
Mhm.
no shit, the person making a commission on you's a fan. Of
Yeah.
course, you fucking mark. Yeah.
Yeah. Are they even friends? I mean, it's a purely salesman shopper relationship, really. It's not.
Hmm.
I'm just actually all right. So Carrie, so they go there, and Carrie's like instantly like there's a immediate rapport, like they've met a bunch of times, and Jack's off put a little bit. He's a stranger in a strange land, and he's being offered a cappuccino or a water or a champagne, and he takes the champagne natch.
Hmm.
Now I do know that hair salons will offer you booze of some type
Right.
as you wait, and I have taken advantage of that. So I do feel blessed.
So you've been to hair salons that do that.
Yes, I have.
And man, that's pretty nice. I feel like I know that that's a thing, but I thought it was more of a I thought that was more of like a lady place thing.
Well, I don't know. They let me. They didn't.
They didn't.
Didn't
It
check my
wasn't.
boobs on the way in.
It wasn't gender screened. I guess by lady place I also just mean like I guess that's a better place, than just like barber shops don't do it.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't roll into the Washington Street barbershop in Frankfort, Indiana, and they didn't offer me a glass of white wine as I
Do you have
waited.
a Veuve Clicquot?
But yeah, it's I mean, it's I assume it's the same sort of wine that you'd get at China Wine back in the day or whatever.
Sure, like Franzia, just whatever. Just it's wine. It's fun. It's free.
Yeah,
Who
it's
gives
like a
a
little
shit?
box, and you have a glass of wine, and then it's like, well, I guess I have to finish this before like my haircut gets started because you're under the tarp or whatever, and you're not like, oh shit, you got hair on my wine.
Yeah.
But
I actually, I said that, but the barbershop I now go to, a guy's been cutting my hair since I was in like middle school. Opened up his own barbershop in Glen Ellen, Illinois. Punch Barbershop is what it's called. And
damn,
yeah,
those plugs keep it coming.
I know. And they have like a fridge of beer in the back, and like they'll give you a beer while you.
Oh my god! Now you're telling me they didn't serve drinks at Dramatics, Kevin?
No.
A place called Dramatics.
I know that's
serve?
you. Yeah, you know me and Melody
Yeah.
at Dramatics.
That's another thing you and Richard Simmons have in common.
We both get our haircut at Dramatics. Yeah. No, I've never been offered booze there, and I put a lot of money into that place, so I feel like that's.
I'm owed something, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, anyway, so that's what's happening here, and at least shouts to Berger for taking advantage of the booze situation.
Yes, and he gets kissed on the cheeks, which I mean, this is like 2003 at this point, right? Like, people are kissing on the cheek, especially like New Yorkers. Like, this is like a normal. Like, I never did that when I lived in Indiana, but when I moved out here, people be kissing on the cheek all the time.
Is it mostly my family who does that, or is it other people too?
It's, I would say, largely your family. But
my family, it seems, yeah.
Your family is like one of the a major slice of the population pie in Long Island.
Yes, the McCaffreys and McCaffrey spinoffs are a huge percentage of Long Island, and the family John married into. And yeah, they're very, very friendly, but like we're Irish, obviously, but like very Italian level cheek kissers. I feel like on the greetings and stuff,
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't grow up like that. Like my Chicago family was not a cheek kisser.
And I guess like when I go to Old Navy, I'm not getting kissed on the cheek there. So
at Old Navy, they give you one expired Yoo-hoo if you want it.
Yeah. My retail experience is slightly different. Yeah, so they're shopping, and Carrie, of course, finds a hideous dress, the worst thing in the place, and everyone says they love it. And
she asks how much it is. He tells her, and she says, "I'd like to pay more, actually, for it."
And then the guy tries to sell Jack Berger on this red shirt, which seems like a standard red shirt a little bit.
John, you can't argue with this. That shirt's red. And like, I don't know. We didn't get a quote on how much money it is. But
and I just Googled this while I was on the show, so I feel a little bit bad. Just to see how much a Prada men's shirt is.
yeah.
And these are some pretty hideous looking shirts. They're not just red, but they're it's how much would you guess?
For basically what Berger was wearing, Prada, I could see that. I mean, I could see that being as high as 600.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, he does say like, oh, is that for a shirt or for a studio apartment?
Right. So studio apartment, I feel like you'd be thinking is more like, at this time, maybe a grand.
I just dropped one in the chat for
You
you.
did.
I don't know.
You hit me with the chat.
I
And
don't know if you want to see it or not, but it looks pretty dope. And
oh,
if somebody's got
okay, so this has a lot more going on than the red shirt, but I would argue that makes it a whole lot worse. This is $1,120, otherwise known as $1,120. Yeah, man, that I don't get it. I don't know. I like good clothes. I do. You know. But my brother Patrick and I we've taken to texting each other recently. GQ's really changed in the last couple of years, and now Pat and I will just text each other with a screen cap of like something from GQ's pages and being like, who is this magazine for anymore? And it's recommending shit like this, which we can put in the Insta at Sex and the City. But it's just a shirt like no one would ever wear for $1,100. It sucks. You can't look good in this. And that's GQ all the time now, is like that shit. And then like a third of their pages are dedicated to like watches now. And it's like, you don't even need this. This is a useless accessory. But I mean, that's what Carrie's into.
Right. And just a quick note, if you want to donate at the $1,120 level on our Patreon, I'll show up to your formal event, wedding, bar mitzvah, whatever, in the stupidest shirt you could imagine from Prada.
From Prada. Otherwise, I was going to say John owns all the other ones besides Prada. But you have a distinct style. I was talking about how, to me, Larry David's a real style icon because he has such a specific look that is him. And I feel like you're like that. You're like a Larry David style guy.
Yeah. I mean, I know people have dressed as me for Halloween. So am I an icon? Yes, I am an icon.
Yeah, man. Shit. I did that in like 2002.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, Berger does not want to buy this ridiculously priced red shirt, which actually, Kevin, I think in college you had a red shirt comparable to this. It wasn't Prada, but it was a red shirt that I remember you wearing.
Very similar. It's in that closet behind me. Yeah, I could go get it.
Okay. I mean, it's up to you.
All right, I'll go get it right now. You just keep talking.
I'll just keep talking about the show. No, I'm not. Kevin took off his headphones. I'm going to talk about Kevin for a while, and yeah, he's reaching in there. He's just sort of leaning over. He's wearing a tank top right now, and he used to wear this on the college show. And he's coming back. Yeah, Berger's talking about things, and then we find out the Prada guy is actually single because he got dumped. And I thought the weird thing was like this guy. I thought they were going to do a thing where like, oh, this guy's straight, which I guess they did a couple episodes ago, but it didn't seem like he was, super straight to me. But
which one?
The Prada salesman.
Yes. No. Right. Because he's stylish and European, two things that seem a little gay. I think in general. So yeah. But he wants to be fixed up. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's what we're he's talking about being fixed up, and Carrie's got the perfect person in mind. But we'll get to that in a moment.
We can drop that.
Oh yeah, it's Charlotte. You guys
it's Charlotte.
Know it's Charlotte.
Yeah, of course it's going to be Charlotte. Yeah, she's single. She wants to fix the lady up.
Yeah. But anyway, they go to a diner. They meet up at a bistro later, and Berger's reading a book. Man, do you ever read a book at a place anymore, Kevin? Do you go to a bistro and read a book?
Yes. But not in months. But, well, I don't really do it. I will do it killing time in between. Like if I have to go into the city for something and then back when I was a stand-up comedian, when I would be waiting for a show, I would occasionally be reading a book. Coffee shop. Why are you saying that's go ahead.
I don't know. I just feel like I haven't read a book in a while. Maybe I need to work on me. Maybe I need to read a book.
Yeah, I just read This Side of Paradise, F. Scott Fitzgerald's first novel, which
Wow.
I'm a F. Scott mark. So
Yeah. You love the Gatsby.
Yep.
You've described yourself as a Jay Gatsby type several times.
There's no, I haven't done that. You trying to sneak me in,
You're more like a Nick Wallaby type.
More of the narrator. Yeah.
His name's Nick Wallaby, right?
We'll let Wallaby. I think it's Caraway, right?
Oh yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, they show up, and guess what? Carrie's got a gift for the boy, for the Jack Berger boy, and that is the red shirt that he, didn't seem that excited about anyway. But sure, why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we had a scene like this at another time between
Miranda and Steve, exactly, where she big leagued him at the store.
She big leagued him with the suit, but I thought that was worse than what Carrie did here, because Carrie got him this shirt, and really, this is a classic move, and everyone's done this with a gift at some point in their life, where you're getting the person a gift, but it's really for you. You want it. Like, she wants him to wear this shirt. That's what she wants. She kind of wants her boyfriend to be fancy like her, I think. And so she, even if he doesn't want it badly enough to spend the money, she wants to get it for him. So it's fine. It's nice, but it's also a gift to herself, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know. Yeah. I've gotten like finery as gifts from women. Plenty of women, tons of women.
Almost every woman.
Almost everyone. No, but well, I think actually now that you mention it, it's like, man, wait a second. Is it because I'm a slob? Is it because I don't have any the fashion sense God gave a turnip?
Kristen bought me a washcloth for my birthday. Is that bad?
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this is like, it's still like, man, you should just return that shirt and just get another
several good
nice
shirts. Yeah. John, it's crazy. I bought a good shirt for $400 before.
I was gonna say, like, what's the most you've ever dropped on clothing?
On a single shirt,
$400 is what it sounds like.
Yeah, no, that was even, I think, a lie. I think the most I've ever spent on a shirt is like probably like $200, I think, on a shirt. I've bought a suit. Maybe I think I probably spent $1.50 on a suit once. But
suits are different.
They are different. Or yeah, no, I mean, even the tuxedo I have, I don't think was. I think that was maybe $1,500.
There you go.
Yeah, and it was a Hugo Boss tuxedo that I like a lot. Still works, so.
Still works. Still covers your body. Covers your shame.
Still does. What's the most you've ever spent on clothes, do you think?
I spent about, God, I want to say it was like $550 on a shirt that said "single, taken, or mentally dating Bunny McDougal."
God dang it! It's worth every penny, and yeah, we'll post that on the Insta. Sex in the City. It's
no, on myself, I really don't want to. That was a bad noise. I probably spent like 40 American dollars or on well, it'll make sense when I say it. I bought an Alan Partridge shirt from England. So with the exchange rate and everything and like delivery, it ended up being expensive. And of course it's like fucking European
sizes,
skinny boys, not fitting this guy too good.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten a chance to wear it very much.
Yeah.
But one fine day, Kevin, I'm gonna lose that weight. I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, whatever weight you're at, that's the right weight to be. That's my feeling. But yeah.
Oh, I guess like a dress shirt. I don't know, like 100 probably. When I bought a suit, I bought the dress shirt for at the same time or something. Right. I don't know.
All right. Solid.
But yeah, we'll go to Prada and we'll drop a boatload on ugly bowling shirts.
Yeah, but the reason she's willing to pay all this money, to get besides the fact that she just wastes money on clothes all the time. And it's not wasting money if it's a thing you like, but also we know she had to ask her friends for $15,000 before. So we know she's bad at money. That's canon. And she shows Berger she got a $25,000 advance because her book sold in France.
Right.
And yeah.
Is that an advance? Is that how I thought that was an advance comes before you write the book normally, right?
Right. I mean, I don't know if they're referring to it as like advance of being published in French, I guess, but that's not typically, to my knowledge, the verbiage is weird.
She got like a big paycheck for selling a lot of books in France. So she's like the Jerry Lewis of the written word, she says.
Yeah, it's a good line.
Pretty good. Yeah. But go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just gonna say she has the check and actually shows Jack Berger the actual check, which is like, oh man, you're just you had that in your pocket ready, huh?
But I felt like her vibe was not showy about it. I felt like she was excited to share. She was like,
absolutely.
This is crazy. And like, I've done shit like that before. I think I'm more open about money than most people I know because I genuinely don't attach value to it. Like it feels a lot better to have it than to not. But it doesn't, I really don't think it has any attachment to the value of the person. I don't think. I grew up poor, whatever. Neither one of us here. This isn't a grew up rich podcast, we're not, but I think like I'm maybe open about money to the point of it being gauche, And,
sure. I believe it.
Do you hate when I talk about money, John?
I don't. I just feel uncomfortable when anyone talks about money. But I guess you have to. People have to.
Yeah.
You got to at some point. But I always feel like, talk about something else.
How much money's in your pants right now, John?
None. I have none money. That may come as a shock to you.
But I wrote that. So she does that, and you can see Berger kind of taken aback. And I wrote, I didn't think he did anything bad in this moment, but I wrote Berger easily emasculated was just the vibe I got. Right.
Yeah. It's like something's not right here in Berger world. And like, she feels it immediately and then goes off and is with Miranda and is like, he felt, she says they started talking about it immediately, right? And then they run into guest star of the week, Amy Sedaris, who is like buying a bottle of gin because she just got canned from her job as the publisher because the sales weren't good enough. And it's like, I kept thinking, like, is this going to be like some sort of money laundering scheme, or like, did like Carrie getting like a fake check and she like over bought clothes? But it was like none of that. It's like, oh, hers was the only bright spot in Amy Sedaris's career or something.
Yeah, Carrie was her hit. So, because I also wondered if like Carrie maybe her lack of success in a certain way hurt Sedaris, and we were gonna get a Sedaris, being like, well, fuck you on her way out, kind of a thing. Because there was also I think distinctly Sedaris wacky energy in her at this moment. It was like, it felt more like actual Amy Sedaris, I think. Do you want a piece of hot goss I got about this, John, that I've been sitting on?
You just put it right on my tongue. Put your goss right on my tongue.
There was a rumor, and I'm just saying it's a rumor, but it was a rumor in showbiz circles that Sarah Jessica Parker and Amy Sedaris had a fling and were in love.
Now, those are two different things, I think. You can have a fling, and that's great, or you can be in love.
Yes, and you can do each without the other.
I think most of the time you do each. I don't know. Maybe it was a whirlwind romance, I guess.
Yeah, and I have no facts about this, but this is just something that was talked about in showbiz circles.
Well, I'm glad that you're a part of the showbiz circle, so you can keep your ear to the ground and let us know about these things.
Just rumors,
Is that, man, that's wild. I had no idea. And that was during the course of filming this season, or the season last season, or
that I don't know. I just got it from someone who worked with Sex in the City or adjacent, basically.
That's wild. For some reason, I've always thought of like Amy Sedaris as being like, I don't know, just being sort of not asexual, but just like, I don't know. I've only seen her really flirt with David Letterman. Not to keep bringing up David Letterman again, but like
No,
she
but
was
this
always
is
like a great guest on the show, and she'd always be like flirty with him and make him like kind of uncomfortable because of how flirty she was.
yeah, flirty, and she'd be very like forward and silly, and she'd always wear like extravagant dresses out on Letterman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's not Letterman centric to be like she was specifically an all-star all-time Letterman guest. Like she was a real, and yeah, it's like I don't know what's the sexuality of a Fraggle. You know what I mean? It's like Amy Sedaris is such like a wood nymph of just like a goofy, creative, like I mean this in all the best ways, like insane person, but like you don't think of those people as being like straight or gay. Like it's just like what she's just anything, you know. So anyway,
good. I mean, good for her, and good. I mean,
if it's true, if it's not, who cares?
SJP also like. I mean, that's quite a get for SJP. I think like that's a very creative, like outside of what I'd think SJP would go for.
It kind of impresses you a little bit about her, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It does me. It makes me think more highly of her.
Then you go from that to Matthew Broderick.
I guess back to Matthew Broderick. Yeah, because she was with him the whole time. But again, I don't know this. It's just a thing. It's just
a thing that you're saying over and over again in a highly listened to podcast.
We're all having fun. Everything's fired. Make up a rumor about me. We'll post it on Sex and the City. Anyway, Sedaris is fired, and she lets it slip that Berger's book was dropped. They declined the option, and that's how Carrie finds out. And then she's like, "Oh shoot! Now I feel bad. I was waving my check in his face when all this was going down. He didn't tell me." And I understand feeling weird about that, but Miranda gives the right advice here, and the right advice is you wait for him to bring it up. Also, don't be pitying him.
Yeah.
In between that, to me, as a man,
stand up for your own success. Like you were in this, and like she was like that off the bat too, which is nice.
Yeah, so. And he was saying that.
Well, yeah, Miranda said it first, though. Like, don't be ashamed of your success. But like, yeah, I guess wait for him to bring it up. I mean, I guess he did never bring it up first. She brought it up. I guess you'd be still waiting, right?
Yeah, I guess we don't know when he would have. You would think he'd have to at some point, but she couldn't wait on it. She could tell he was being weird, and she wanted to pull the Band-Aid off, you know. And I feel like my advice would be to not do that, but because I feel like as a guy or just as a person, I don't want someone else telling me like, "Hey, I heard you did bad." And even though it's not that he did bad, functionally that's what it feels like, you know. So I feel like he
failed. He's a failure,
right? And that's what he's thinking.
She's telling all her friends, and then they're all having a great big laugh about it behind his back.
And he could feel that way because she said. Then he's like, "How'd you find this out?" And she says, "Miranda." And he's like, "I don't want Miranda to know." And she's like, "Oh, it's fine. You don't get to decide what's fine as the person who's not the person. Like Carrie doesn't get to decide that it's fine." And the way Miranda found out, I think it's different because it's like, oh, literally Amy Sedaris said it in front of Miranda. It wasn't like Carrie was gossiping to Miranda. You know what I mean? But I think like you sharing secrets about your significant other with your friends, you know, it's like you don't get to tell your significant other then like, no, it's fine. Like I think your significant other gets to decide what's fine about their own secrets being shared. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And she said it was fine. Oh, Miranda thinks it's fine. Oh,
Carrie.
Yeah. Carrie said Miranda thinks it's fine. Not like it's fine that I told her. I
thought that was what she was saying. Was that like because he was like, I don't want Miranda to know, and she's like, no, it's fine. And it's like, no, what Berger's saying is he doesn't. Right,
and then she corrected herself. She said Miranda thinks it's fine or whatever. Like not that it's fine that I told Miranda.
Oh, okay. Then I misunderstood that.
Oh. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could have just been a thing she says to be like kind of smooth things over or whatever. But I don't know. Yeah. yeah, it does turn out that I don't think this is unique to the fellas, but like nobody likes to have a failure sort of talked about or bandied about in any particular way.
Right.
So, that's I think that's an everyone thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but anyway, yeah, his book they didn't want another book from him.
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane Paradise, Hurricane Flatulence. That's probably not it.
What's the opposite of paradise? A fart.
I know it's one of those ironic titles, Kevin.
Sure. Purgatory? I don't know. That's not quite it either.
So the book deal's fucked is
Yes.
the point, and he's mopey, he's in his feelings, and that's fine. He's kind of, they have it out a little bit about the check where she's like, I wouldn't have shoved this in your face, and it's like, oh, don't worry, I want you to be successful, and he says all the right things here.
He does, and
the right things.
He does, and it does feel like he means it there. Like he looks her in the eye and he tells her it solidly. He's like, "No, you earned that. That's not, So I did feel like he was being truthful there.
Right, and then yeah, for sure. And then there's the gulf between like how you should feel, and then there's the way that you feel.
Yes. Oh my God. So a very relatable thing in life. I definitely have a time where I've thought, do you have, I wrote down a question like jealous of success ? Or like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Everyone I know that does anything. It's like, well, why not? Well, why not me? Why not me? But no, I mean, even in not just that, but just like other things, like there was a thing recently where it was like, I just can't be around this person anymore. And it's like not their fault at all. I just knew in my own mind, it was like, I can't do this. And it's a me thing, but I can't. And there's no reason why I shouldn't, but I couldn't.
And it was because they were like having,
it was my child.
Lark Daly was hired to write for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And John was up for that deal too, but they wanted a woman on staff. Yeah.
No, just professionally. I mean, like as far as that goes, no, that's more like, it's always like a rising tide. I mean, you feel jealous no matter what, because it's like, well, how hard could that be? I could do that, right?
Yeah, I think I don't really feel jealousy. I go straight to self-loathing, where it's just like I have a confidence in myself in a lot of ways where I think if I worked hard enough, I would just get the thing. I don't think it's rare when someone gets something that I want where I think, oh, they were much better than me the whole time. I think like, oh, I should have, if I wanted that, I should have worked harder. Is typically what I think. I think the most jealous, and I don't even know if it's exactly jealous, but when we were in college, Jamie she got an internship at Letterman first out of everyone. And I wasn't jealous of her. I was really happy she got it. But we had been dating about a year at that point, and I just figured, oh shit, because I was still in college for another year. You were still in college for another 2 years, and I just thought like, oh, well, I don't have this thing yet, and I don't know that I ever will. So now I'm like the drag, Like I kind of felt like, oh, she got drafted to the majors, and I'm fucking nobody.
You're gonna be in the fucking WAG section, Kevin.
Yeah, I was like, I'll go to bartending school and whatever, and then she'll be super successful, and like I don't want to be a fucking loser, and then, yeah. So I remember feeling like that then, but yeah. But now I think I am like one of the few ways I do think I'm emotionally healthy is I'm very good at rooting for success of my friends. Like no matter what happens to me, I do think that is like a genuine thing. I'm always very happy when people get stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. You're happy because you're supposed to be happy. But then, no, it's fine.
Then. Yeah.
Then. No. Of course, we're always happy for our successful friends.
Yeah.
And if you guys, if our successful friends need my resume or whatever.
Yeah, holler at your boy.
Anyway, so the book deal's fucked, but guess what is even better than a book deal, Kevin?
What?
A motorcycle.
Yes. Boy, does he love his motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs this right now, John. That's really what it's about.
Right. He needs it. So they're going to a major theatrical display, or an opening. I don't know what you'd call one of those. A debut, a red carpet event.
Yeah, it's a premiere. Yeah, I mean, it's got a premiere like opening night at a theater, I guess.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then Carrie thinks she's going to be going in a cab, but what's this? Oh yes, your chariot awaits, madam. It is Jack Berger. What is this, beef on a hog?
Beef. Meat on meat, beef on a hog. He shows up on his motorcycle and he's like, he's really like trying to man up and be cool. And you can tell he's overcompensating, because he feels like a loser because he had his option dropped.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, yeah, it seems like wildly impractical to go to. Like, if this was just like a random date night, it's like, okay, yeah, this is cool. This is a fine thing to do. But like, rightfully, she's like, I'm wearing a Prada dress. I have this, what essentially looks like dry cleaning to drop off, but is in fact a purse, as I later found out in the episode. But like, she's like, oh yeah, I'll get on the back of this motorcycle. Like, this seems like a great idea, right?
It so clearly won't work from the get-go,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, man, you should know her a little bit. I get his instinct, but the right thing to do is you show up and be like, yeah, I didn't really consider how this would all work. I guess I'll park this here and let's take a cab or something. Because,
Mm-hmm.
this isn't going to work. But then she's like, you know what? He's having a rough week, so I'll try, which that does come from a nice place. But then as soon as she gets off the bike,
Mm-hmm.
she's yelling at him and she's like, and then she goes like nuclear immediately. She's like, I said don't go fast. And he's like, I didn't think I was going that fast. And then she says,
I was digging my fingers into you. Like, oh, I thought you were just excited.
She said, I'm not going to die on a bridge so you can feel like a man, which is the most emasculating thing you can say.
Yeah.
Like,
just die on a bridge, Carrie.
Honestly, it's like
he needs this.
This more than erases you being cool about getting on the motorcycle. This is a thing. I feel like I thought this was a pretty well played awkward night for these two, right? Because it's like they sort of ping pong, each one trying to rally. Like, he's in a bad mood at first, and then she's like, I'll go along with it. And then they get there on the motorcycle, and then she's in a bad mood, and then he's trying to be like, no, I'll make it, let's make it okay. And then he like reveals that he's wearing the shirt she bought him, and then they're both happy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's ping ponging back and forth between who feels good, who feels bad. But when she agrees to get on the motorcycle, here's the thing, blanket statement. Don't do the nice thing for the person you're with if you're then going to ruin the night once you do it. Like, it doesn't help anybody to be nice when then you are ruining things after that. Like, if it's something you're going to hate, don't do it. Don't do the nice thing.
We didn't see what was happening. We didn't actually see the motorcycle ride in question, so we don't know how fast he was going. But like, there was a condition for her getting on the bike, and that was do not go fast. And I don't know how fast he went, but it was not slow enough, I guess.
Right, but do you think there's any speed that would have been okay for her?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
slower than what he did. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, she should have just not gotten on the bike because she's going to a red carpet event and she's worried about helmet hair. It's like,
that's enough reason to not do it. Yeah,
just say like, I'll meet you there or whatever. Like, I'm sorry you're going through something. I'm sorry you're being weird. It's right. Like if he showed up with a fucking tandem bicycle, it's like, are you gonna get on the fucking tandem bicycle, Carrie?
Carrie, I need this to feel like a man. I need you to get on this clown bike right now.
Yeah. And it's like, oh man, all right, I'll get on the tandem bike, but you can't honk the horn. And then he gets on, it's like, and he honks the horn a bunch, and it's like, God damn it! Why'd you honk that horn? Like, oh, I thought you were joking. Like, no, dude. But anyway, yeah, he again comes out and admits he's very good at admitting that he's doing shitty behavior, kind of like he's like, oh no, I guess I didn't think I was the boyfriend that would be jealous of not being the earner. And I wrote down, just make it that whoever earns more gets to drive the motorcycle. And I think I've solved the relationship there.
Honestly, whoever earns more, everything else is equal, but you choose the mode of transportation.
Right. And then whoever's driving wears a shirt that says, if you can read this, the person who earns less in the relationship fell off.
Yeah, the font's got to be small, but it's pretty good. It's a twist on an old classic. If you can read this, the bitch fell off, which is a shirt I haven't seen in person, but I learned about via you, John, and I want to see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think the shirt I came up with is worth at least $1,120.
I think so. I saw the shirt. So you also do you? Well, I guess let's just close their storyline for the night. Really, is Carrie's they're walking up the red carpet thing that Samantha set up, which we'll talk about, but they're taking photos of Carrie and everyone's like, get the guy out of the picture. And they're like yelling. And she's like, no, he's with me. His name's Jack Berger. He's a great writer. And he's like, he doesn't want to be sort of, involved here. He's like, I'm not, people want to see you. They don't want to see me. I feel like a loser anyway. And then he bails and goes
home. Right. Yeah, and you know what? I guess maybe the real lesson here is you can't make someone feel better through like force of will. Like,
yeah,
if someone's like in the dumps, sometimes they're just going to stay in the dumps, and like putting them in front of the paparazzi is not going to like make them feel better.
It's not the most helpful
as it turns out,
right? Yeah. But I think that's a great lesson that's very hard to learn. I think in any relationship, that sometimes when the person's feeling bad, you literally cannot do anything about it. It's just a game of time. You just have to run out the clock on this feeling a little bit, and that sucks because there's times when there's big events like this and you're like, oh, we got to feel good. And that's just not how life works, You
got to make a show.
Yeah.
Smile for the cameras, baby.
Yeah. And my thing is always like, if you genuinely can't have a good night, then don't go and that's fine, is how I feel typically.
Right.
But it's easier said than done. I get that too.
They just, the two of them, they keep thinking that they're going to fix the problem, but every time they fix it, they just make another hole.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make it, these two.
Well, this episode makes it seem dicey, but I don't know. Okay. No, they're definitely not. I mean, it's going to be, it's the fucking big show. Big's coming back. We all fucking know it.
It's the big show. Yeah. But I wanted to ask, John, how do you feel about a lady making more money than you?
Well, it's funny I'm feeling like that's where I am right now, baby.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. And no, I mean, I don't know. I feel
Does
fine.
It make you, yeah. Does it make you, I don't.
Do I have to really work at maintaining an erection right now? Yes. No, it doesn't.
No, I know you. I know that dick work. You can't stop having babies. That shit's staying up.
Damn it.
Yeah,
don't remind me.
Yeah.
No, it's great. I mean, she's well trained and she does well at her job. So
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I don't. My wife and I have sort of leapfrogged back and forth over who we've had years where one makes significantly more money than the other, back and forth throughout time. I think there's probably more years where she made more, but then the years I made more, it was probably by a bigger margin. But like, we're not.
We certainly don't have two full length thermometers from floor to ceiling where we mark our cash flow.
Yeah, well, I don't even know. Well, I don't know how much I make year to year, really. Like, until I look at it at the end, I guess. You know what? Like, I don't have a steady salary. I have to. Sure. You have to do the math at the end of the year, basically.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's I do think because one of the themes of this episode is they talk about like the new kind of man. Is it an act, or are they cool with powerful women and whatever? And it's like I don't feel lesser if the woman's making more than I am. I just be like it, but you just don't want to feel like a loser in general. I think like that's the thing, like go ahead and make as much as you want. I would just like
oh, cute. Oh, you're buying me fancy things, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I feel like we must have talked about this with Miranda and Steve, but yeah, it's like, I mean, where everyone's doing what they can to try to contribute to the relationship. It's a very Marxist view of a relationship.
Yeah.
From each according to their abilities and to each according to their needs. So,
yes.
But yeah, I don't know. And yeah, it doesn't seem like he thinks he'd really be beyond this. And I don't know. I guess he's not. But yeah, I've never. And the way he kicked that building, Kevin, I didn't like it. Didn't like it one bit.
Ooh, you don't like where that's going.
Mm-mm. He's abusive. He's quick-tempered.
We're calling it Jack Beef is abusive, and Carrie had sex with Amy Sedaris. These are the hot takes from this episode. All right, so that basically, that basically wraps up the Carrie Berger storyline. He goes home, he's like, I can't do this, and then Stanford Blatch, your boy Blatchford, is there, and she has him sit next to her for the.
She basically emotionally cheats on Jack Berger with Stanford Blatchford. Yes, You're right, Kevin.
So who do we want to go to next?
If this is a sort of
I thought audio changed for a second. Okay, you're back.
My audio changed. Yeah. Oh no! Did my audio change?
Oh, his grandma filter went on.
Let's just do Samantha, because this is sort of the meeting house of. No, they do meet somewhere else first.
It's TGI Fuck Day.
Man, I imagine that's the restaurant wanted to use that first, but they couldn't get the rights to it. But no, she's Samantha. It's Samantha's time now, and she's wearing a wig. And I wrote Fraggle hair on this. Her like
Fraggle
90
hair.
with like weird hair stuff on it. And they just get done boning, her and Jerry. Jerry's putting on his pants. He's not wearing underwear, Kevin.
I don't know if he ever has.
Do you wear underwear? Surely.
I mean, you're correct. Yes, I was going to ask you to guess, but you sort of you included the guess in the thing.
I just wanted to make sure.
I'm an underwear guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of weird that way.
Yeah, boxers and boxer briefs. Those are the two things I do.
Why wouldn't you wear on? Why would you go commando? It's gotta the jeans. The jeans are gonna be rough on every bit of it. Yeah,
I think in my case, if you're in a rush, I think that's the only time in memory that I can remember not wearing underwear is if like I literally.
Was there a bomb going off?
No, but like I think I just like
precious seconds.
But I think it was a thing when it was all roommates together, and my wife was the door was closed. She was getting changed or whatever in the room, and I just like couldn't find the clothes I brought to the bathroom, and so I couldn't find the boxers. So but I had everything else. And I was like, fuck it. So I just But that's it, really. I don't know why you would choose to have no underwear as a dude. As a lady, I get it a little bit more if you want sexy time to happen in a more accessible way. Sure. If that's the plan, makes more sense. But I've never whispered into my lady's ear at dinner, I'm not wearing any underwear, and had it be a good thing. You know what I mean?
No, but there's times when you just want like some denim to rub your dick raw, and then
what if I was fucking Jay Leno?
God, I'm wearing a denim condom. I got a denim.
Dude, Dirty Funbox should do an animation that is Jay Leno wearing a denim condom. Combine our interests at Dirty Funbox. All right.
Oh my God. He's probably got like a 1930s fleshlight in his garage. No. So, all right. So he's going commando. So his jeans are going to smell like butt. Anyway, and she's talking about TGIF. Thank God I like to fuck or whatever instead of Friday.
Day,
So is TGI fuck day? Thank God it's fuck day. All right, that makes sense. So he can't make it this time because he's got to play, and it's a totally rad play. Some words I never wanted to hear again. And he invites her to the play, and it's in Brooklyn. I don't do borough, honey.
I know. It's like how this show really got out at the right time, I think, because like just being like, we don't go to Brooklyn. It's like, you're corny and old, like real soon after this.
Yeah.
It's like, no, people go to Brooklyn. Yeah.
The only borough I go to is Staten Island. You've been to Staten Island. She has been to Staten Island.
The fireman stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Has there been an episode where she's gone to the Bronx? I would like to see that.
I don't know. She went golfing at Pelham Bay Golf Course. Yeah. Not that I know of.
I went to the Museum of the Moving Image.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if we've seen Queens really.
Did they go to? Surely they went to the tennis place. No.
No, I haven't seen. I don't think we've had a U.S. Open episode or a Mets game. Or either airport that I've seen. Those are the Queen's landmarks you think they go to. But.
I want to see the Unisphere.
God, I hope there's
I love having a big ball.
Hell yeah. All right.
Anyway, enough Unisphere talk, Kevin.
Yeah. So but he's like, no, I want to do something besides fucking you for 1 minute in my life. And he acts, and she's like, no, I hate this. And my brother Joe texted me, he's like, why does Samantha sound like the Pink Panther? And Joe McCaffrey is catching up on the show now too. All the McCaffreys are watching Sex and the City now. And so he's like, I'm doing this play. It's in Brooklyn, whatever. And he wants her to come along. And she does. She comes along and she does she made me laugh out loud, her falling asleep and startling awake in the audience. I thought was pretty good.
That was good. What do you think of the play?
Oh, I hate it. How about you?
I mean, the scenery's good. And the old
dick?
people. Not the dick, Kevin. They didn't show the dick. Could you imagine? Why... Come on, HBO. You can't show one honker on this.
Go one dong. Just one hog in the whole series. This was the time to reveal. Yeah.
No, but the hay and the wheat in the background, the mirrors, it was very touching and poignant. It was
like,
very our town, Kevin.
This is like slam poetry with too many participants, is what it felt like to me. But then he comes out when they're like, the land harvested, something harvested. And
my youth,
yes, my life,
my youth.
Yeah. But then he drops trow, right? He drops overalls, and he's not wearing underwear here either. So I guess he's just gotten used to this.
Maybe he was getting into costume at her place.
Method, dude.
Have you ever been to a play where they showed the goodies?
No,
I have at Muncie Community Theater, baby.
Oh my God, in college?
Yeah. I went to see Equus.
The one with the horse stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, they got naked on stage.
Were they like people who were our age? Were they like college people?
I don't know if they were college people or not, or if they were townies.
Okay. Either way, they
were
townie hog.
Mm-hmm. Townie hog. And then, but there was a lady naked on stage too.
Okay, something for everybody.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting ordeal, and yeah, so they don't show the hog here, which is too bad. But like Samantha, as soon as he drops his fucking overalls, she's like, "Oh yeah, oh fuck, now I'm interested." Where it's like, Samantha, you've seen this dick 100 times. Also, he's not erect, I assume.
What if he is? I mean, that would be. Yeah, I also assume he's not erect. Which it is more impressive to be impressive, not hard.
But she's seen it. She's seen it all already.
Right. It shouldn't be a surprise to her. It's a surprise that she is seeing it in the moment, but it shouldn't be like, wow, that's a good dick.
No,
It's
I've
like,
never seen it with a
just...
staging before.
I've rarely blown it next to corn.
Yeah. This lighting's very impressive.
Right. And then she does, it turns out, I'm starting to feel like she really likes this guy because she is making out with him furiously on the way home and then says that, like, if like, do you want to keep doing this? And he's like, yeah, I love it, you know, and he makes $30 a week on the show. And
he gave up his catering gig or whatever it was.
He was like, fuck it. Yeah. The job he wasn't fired for fucking Samantha. Yeah. He quit that other one.
Now that doesn't seem like super high stakes to me, because it seems like he would just be able to get a job waiting tables somewhere else, presumably.
Absolutely. But it's just not money for now. And he's really into this. And we learned that he's 28 years old and he is doing this. And she says, if this is what you want, I'm going to help you. And he's like, you're going to help me be an actor? And she's like, no, I'm going to help you be a star. Because that's what Samantha knows. She knows, she doesn't know good. She knows famous, you know? And that's what she's into. And she said, if this is going to be a part of my life, we're going to have some red carpets. And fucking great. I mean, what an accidental good job of hooking up by this guy whose name is Jerry Jarrett, and then she's trying, and she hates the name.
Double J.
Yeah. Or Jerry, or what, is it Jerry Jarrett?
No, it's Jerry Jarrett. Double J.
Yeah, right.
JERRY.
Yeah.
JERROD.
Yeah. And she says,
for you wrestling fans out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you TNA marks. Yeah. They say and so she's like, I'm gonna do this, and she gets her important people there and she sells it out for the first night. She gets all the photographers there, the red carpet, all that stuff. So it's like, oh man, she's really, you know, she's smitten. She likes this guy.
Right. I almost wonder if this is like a God, like in Trading Places, the movie with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, where they're like, I wonder if I could just like pick a random person and make them a star, even though I have no confidence in their ability at all. Like,
totally, yes.
Could right, it's just like make anyone a star then?
It's like a She's All That challenge, where it's like, I dare you to make this loser a star.
Right. Yeah, so I guess Samantha just has it within her capability to turn literally anyone into a star.
If you're hot and have a good schlong, I think is also needed. But I thought we had a really funny scene where she's like, we have to do something about that name. And she's making out with him and she just starts calling him different names. Like it was so funny. She just,
was good.
I forget
Matt, Toby.
Yeah. Oh,
which I guess is like a Matt Damon and then Toby Maguire.
Yeah, that would have been around the time of guys who were like A-list, I guess.
Yeah. And what they ended up going with, Kevin, was a bit of a shocker for me.
Tell me about it.
Smith Jared.
I think it's Smith Jarrett.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the first name is more the shocker. It seems more like they're reading out a name from a phone book or whatever.
Yeah, Smith, comma. Yeah, right. Yeah. What are your feelings on that name?
I don't think it's. I guess I don't. My first instinct is I don't like it, but then if you read me some other names from Hollywood, I'd probably be like, I don't like this one either.
Sure.
So maybe that's the right thing to do.
Is it because you have one of the best names in famous person world, John, that there's like several good John Dalys in the world?
I think there's like two counting me. There's two good John Dalys, right?
Are you not counting the golfer, or you are?
You know what? I'm not, but maybe I should. I feel like he's got some skeletons in that old closet of his.
Oh yeah, baby. But you know, he's still fun. Yeah, I think he's still. I don't think he's canceled. I think he's just like, all due respect, a dipshit. I think, and I think he would agree with that. And I'm not saying I'm not a dipshit, but I think John Daly, the golfer, is a classic dip. I would say.
Right.
So
it's
anyway,
amazing
you got
how
a famous name.
Yeah, I do have a famous name. It's
That's
nice.
why you're at Jack Perday on Insta.
Yeah. So yeah, follow me on at Jack Perday if you want to see Mostly pictures of my kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a kid guy now.
You're a kid guy? You're a wife guy.
I'm a hashtag girl dad, Kevin. Did you know that?
I do know that, and you're a great girl dad. And
did you know that that's a thing? I didn't even understand it for a while. And then
well, it kind of shouldn't be a thing, right? Because it's one of the two options.
I'm gonna be a both dad soon. So I'm gonna lose my girl dad status, I guess.
But you're still a girl dad.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, no, you're a great girl dad. It's great.
He makes the paper. I mean, that's how good she is. I got you in the newspaper.
Yeah.
About how all the glitterati is going to be there. Glitterati.
To me, it just sounds like people didn't shower after a visit to the strip club. Why they got glitter on them? Mm-hmm. What's happening here? You know?
It's probably because they went to the strip club, or is it one of the bosses of the 5 famous mob families, like Paul Giamatti? No, that's not it. You know the one I'm talking about.
Gotti?
No, you know what? It was Paul Giamatti. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, but there's she gets him talked about. She's got a whisper campaign going. There's a buzz about the Smith Jarrett. Everyone comes out.
Whisper campaign, yeah.
And he drops trow, throws the sausage all the way out there. Splash zone, front row, look out. And
watch out.
Then he does a monologue where he says the word wet a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the first time, after they go home after Miranda's seen it, Samantha's seen it. The first time he's like, "What'd you think of the monologue?" And she's like, "Who could tell? I saw your wiener hanging out there, and I couldn't think of anything else."
Yeah, just when it's just like when a cartoon like is looking at something it wants to eat, and then has the dream bubble, and it's just like them as a ham bone or something. You know? Yeah.
And then she reaches up into the bubble and pulls out a wiener and starts nuzzling it or something. But anyway, this time she sees his dong again, but she's able to pay attention for some reason. I don't know why.
Right.
But she's able to pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he does. It's very, I would say, not excellent writing. Not excellent. Not really poignant.
The writing is terrible. But he presents it fine, I think. And the main note I wrote, and then like Stanford's like, he looks like that and he can act. And she's like, he can act? Great. And what I wrote was, with a question mark at the end, took the bow naked?
Yeah, that was a good goof. That's a solid goof.
That's a goof. We're classifying that as a
full moon, and they show his whole asshole. The camera zooms up and shows his puckered asshole first, and then I guess unless that's like the showstopper when he comes out and says the thing,
right? It was just like you could pull your pants up to bow, but whatever. If you're if you feel good about your flaccid game, I guess keep it going. They've seen it already.
I don't think flaccid bowing is going to look good. I think that's going to sort of retract what is already going on.
Even if you have abs too, that position doesn't look good. Your shit, like gravity just like pulls it down a little bit.
Believe me, I've tried bowing naked a few times.
I'm doing it in the mirror right now. Check us out on YouTube. Yeah. All right, so I think that's Sam, right?
Yeah, I do think. Where is this going? I think Smith Jarrett's going to big league her at some point.
Ooh, you think so? I don't know. I feel like he seems like he's got a heart of gold, but things could change.
Well, I mean, Hollywood's going to chew him up and spit him out, and he's going to think he's going to get a big head.
Okay, that's possible. Who knows?
On top of his literal big head of his penis.
His shaft is pretty skinny, but his head is massive. He looks like Toadstool from the Mario game. All right. So, Miranda. Let's do Miranda next.
It's a bowling ball standing on an uncooked spaghetti.
John's falling apart.
I'm sorry. That'd be unpleasant, I think. All right. But anyway, Charlotte, is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, hit me with Charlotte.
Charlotte tries to get hooked up with Prada. Who doesn't like a gift from Prada, right? They make that joke a couple times, and it gets better every single time. She is turning that down. She says, "Is he Jewish?"
Which, yeah, she says, "Is he Jewish?" Which is a goof, and Miranda calls it out as such, where John just recoiled.
Is it a goof? She's not goofing.
She's not goofing, but I think I'm with Miranda here, where she's just like, "Did you think I was going to give up Judaism just because me and Harry didn't work out?" Miranda was like, "Yes."
Right.
And yeah, because you literally only did that because the guy you were into needed it. There's nothing.
You gave
else.
up Christianity for the same reason. Right, why would you not give up? Yeah. Do you think this is the one right religion now?
I guess. I mean, like, because otherwise, why do this? So but I think the main thing that is real here is after breaking up with someone that you love, you just being like, sort of.
You
lost.
Keep being Jewish, yeah.
You're always Jewish. Have you been dumped? Congrats, you're Jewish.
You've Jewished yourself.
So I think she's just like lost, and she's not ready to move on. And some of the gals are like, get out there, which is easier said than done. And when, she's experiencing heartbreak and
J-Date hasn't been invented yet. Excuse me.
No, yeah,
that's the American honey talking.
American honey.
That's the Manischewitz talking, Kevin.
Hell yeah. I got a matzo ball stuck in my throat. But Miranda supports her and is like, she's not ready to move on. She's not ready to move on. And that's obviously because Miranda is not ready to move on, which we'll get to. There really isn't much more to Charlotte's storyline here. She has a scene with Mario Cantone on the bench. Stop me if I'm skipping past anything super significant, but I mean, I just wrote down, why does anyone like Mario Cantone? To me, he's like loud and annoying and like corny and mean. I don't know. I guess he's there for Charlotte, but also like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a Cantone mark.
I will say Kristen enjoyed his antics, so maybe maybe women have a different take on that. I don't particularly enjoy him. Yeah. He's really my least favorite gay friend on the show.
I feel confident in saying in this show, he is not funny. I don't find anything he says funny in this show. It's, I found funny, but I don't know if they meant it, but it's like, it's been 2 weeks, where it's like, yeah, she spent months converting to Judaism, so presumably she's been with this guy for at least half a year or whatever. Yeah.
It's like, it's been 2 weeks. You haven't dated another guy. It's like, yeah, I don't know how long after I got dumped. Shit, I was a mess forever.
You gotta, if you're in love with the person, I mean, it's months. It's, months, I think at least, really. Months until you think you're past it, and then sometimes you get surprised, and no, I didn't, yeah, and so whatever, she's like, Charlotte's like, would being alone be the worst thing? And he's like, yeah. And also it's like, Mario, you're sitting on the bench with Charlotte, so what the fuck do you know? Who are you with right now, So she's, but Charlotte's we're seeing like sort of an evolution of Charlotte too, where she was all about being married and then was married. Now she's not. She converted religions for a guy. That didn't work out. That was someone she didn't think she'd fall for. And now she's starting to be like, maybe I don't have to be with someone. So it's it's an interesting little journey for her. And she starts
maybe I'm a lesbian.
Maybe I'll date Amy Sedaris. And then she ends up at the play, and Carrie somehow seats her next to her Prada guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what the fucking point of that was.
I mean,
we're never going to see that fucking guy again.
That's what I thought. It's like, that's funny you say that, because it's like they set it up like, oh, this is going to be a thing now. I don't think we're ever seeing that motherfucker again.
What this reminded me of slightly, though, and maybe it's sort of a visual callback, is to when Charlotte was at the symposium for, getting your love life back, or like loving
Mhm.
yourself, or like when she was writing "I love you" on the mirror to herself, or wherever the
Yeah.
fuck that was.
Yep.
And then they went to the the stadium seating, and then Carrie like really stuck up for Charlotte
Yes.
at that time. I don't know, and it just sort of seemed like, oh, we're back to like the sort of stadium seating, and like, oh, you're with someone now, but I don't know, it doesn't really make sense thematically, but it's just like, oh, here's a random guy that you're sitting next to.
Yeah, and it's like, are you supposed to just consider this because it's here now? And yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy on the other side of you, probably. Like you could have. I mean, as much about that guy almost.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but that's really all we have on Charlotte. And then we're to Miranda, and Miranda's main thing is she's struggling to move on. And I thought Cynthia Nixon did a lot of good acting in this episode. I thought I felt her she being vulnerable. I thought she was funny. She was, she's clearly struggling to move on. She wanted Steve to stay when he came over to pick up the kid, and she's like, "Oh, if you're gonna watch the game, I'm."
She's like, she's struggling to look casual on the couch before he even walks in. That was a nice touch.
Good acting.
Even though she's surrounded by fucking Chinese food, which is like desperation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh no, I have ESPN, so you might as well stay and watch." And it's like that. I don't know. I mean, Steve's obviously doesn't have the sort of abstract capacity for abstract thought where he could even think about this, but it's like she's inviting you to stay and watch a fucking basketball game that you know for a fact because you've dated her and you had a baby with her that she's not into.
Yeah,
like,
that's not her thing.
Come on, Steve, dude. And then like he does stay and he watches the game and he falls asleep on the couch, and Miranda comes in and see her precious little man tuckered out on the couch. And I did think for a second that she was going to go there, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I thought she was going to go downtown for the fellas on him while he was asleep.
Whoa. My
But
thoughts
I was wildly off.
She didn't blow him at all, turns out. In a twist, she didn't blow Sleepy Steve. My thoughts on it, this might be non-PC. My thoughts on it are that would be fine to do. Because they've had a kid together, they've had a significant relationship together, and he's sleeping over at her house, which I think she wouldn't be wrong to think he'd want something to happen. Now, if he said, "Stop blowing me," I think she should stop. I'll say it.
Sure.
But I think if she went downtown for the fellas, I don't think that would be a terrible thing.
It's yeah.
Am I out of line, John?
No, I don't think you're out of line. I mean, it's implied. It's implied consent. No.
What's implied?
No. Well, by sleeping over, but no. I mean, I would just say, it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to wake up to. That's what.
Getting blown?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to think of a better way to wake up.
Start the day. I mean, your day's gonna go downhill from there, probably.
Yeah, those commercials where those commercials they used to have for the army where they'd be like, "We've done more by 6 a.m. than most people do in a whole day." It's like, well, shit. You wake up getting blown. It's like, I'm ahead of the game today. Like, really.
If I do nothing else today, it will have been a good day.
I mean, I had chores on my list, but now I feel like I got AP credits on this Tuesday. Hell yeah.
Well, she doesn't do it.
She doesn't. She blows it by not blowing it. And she loves him. I wrote down. She is fucking smitten. And it's cute to see. And we've known this for a while. You've said they're going to end up together. And that feels right.
I think it's probably because he's not trying at all, too. Or like they're not spending as much time together. It's easy to love someone when you're not in the same vicinity with them like 20 hours a day or whatever.
Yeah, when you're not, yes, because when everything's a bonus, when everything's charming and you're looking forward to it, and I agreed.
Look how good he's taking care of my baby. Yeah, it's like, all right, I'm sure that's a plus.
That's why you're one of the sexiest men in America, is how good you take care of baby.
take care of baby.
You take care of baby. It's a
Mm-hmm.
hot move. And she's telling her friends about it too, and she's saying that like that was he slept over. That was the most fun I've had in a long time. You know,
watching him watch the Knicks game.
I think like the hangout before that. Yeah, but I mean during that too. It's you've watched sports with me. We can talk. you know,
but he was so dissing. He wasn't. I mean, he fell asleep during overtime, is what they claimed. I don't know.
Yeah, or overtime went too late and then he just went to sleep or something. But she peeks in on him, doesn't blow him, and then the next time we see them hanging out is he's making cupcakes and she's like dressed up real pretty.
Right, he's making cupcakes ostensibly for his going to the park squad, because like when he showed up, he brought a cupcake to her. Like, oh, the moms do this, and like I'm one of the moms. So I have a cupcake for you. And then she goes over to his place. He's making cupcakes. Well, he's probably making them for the moms, right? So she like does this like fun, flirty, let me help you do this, even though I don't know how to cook either. Which is like nice and playful. And like, she doesn't seem to like read the directions, which is like a personal, like, bugbear for me, if you will. But like
bugbear, of course.
Which is like it's just a British expression for like a hair shirt.
Yeah, I love it. I love everything that's happening.
But like a pet peeve where like she's just like, oh, I'm just going to turn the mixture into the bowl or whatever. It's like, well, you should have melted the butter first, and now this is fucked. I'm sorry.
Right, but what they're having is kind of like a cute date, even though it would enrage you to no end. But they're like having fun, but then the rug gets pulled out from under her and she's like and she finds out, she's like, oh man, you're gonna score points at the playground making these cupcakes. He's like, yeah, they're not for the playground, they're for Debbie. And Debbie, and so now she's in the position where she's trying to be cute with Steve, helping him make cupcakes for his current girlfriend, and it's like, oh my god, that sucks. And she's like, how many cupcakes do we need to make? And he just starts spelling Debbie and counting, and then at the end
classic
yells,
Steve,
it's us doing an impression of baby Steve. 20 like D-E-B-B-I, and then 20 cupcakes. And then she's like, great. And she's really good. Cynthia Nixon does a great job here. I've said it before, but like watching the show, I'm like, I didn't know Cynthia Nixon was that good of an actress. She's a good actress. And I
Debbie said no. Yeah, she would have played that role pretty good too, probably. I would definitely vote for her for mayor of New York at this point.
Dude, I would vote for anybody, but she should fucking run. She's good. She's also a good actress. But
I do love that Steve's like, Debbie said no cakes, but she didn't say anything about cupcakes.
And it's just like, oh my God, I'm in love with an idiot for another woman? That's rough. But she's helping him, and then he has to leave to go to pick up his shift, and she's like agreeing to finish cupcakes for his girlfriend solo. And there is a good friend moment because she's talking to Carrie on the phone about this, and Carrie's like, I forget exactly what she says, but like, step away from the frosting or something.
Yeah, she says that a couple times. But yeah, no, it's bad. And like, I know we brought up the term simp earlier, a couple weeks ago, probably, but she's totally a simp right now.
Ooh,
I mean,
the simpiest.
It's where it's like, yes, I'll make cupcakes for your girlfriend, where it's like, he's not going to be into you for that. Like this. Yeah. And this is what she says. Like, what if I make cupcakes good enough? Like he'll love me again. I don't know. It's tough, but it's like, I think a lot of people have been there where like, oh, if I do this thing, this menial task so good that I'll get noticed and they'll love me. And it's like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Sadly. Believe me. You can't grind out love. You can't just you can't level up that shit like
and
that.
Bailey's sitting here just like, if I'm a good father to the second kid, then maybe.
Maybe Kristen will love me again.
Yeah, it's extreme simp stuff from kind of an alpha person. So it's an interesting. There wasn't a lot of the minutes of this episode devoted to the storyline, but it is complex and I think real and in a good way. And I think they're going to end up together. And I do think if she tells Steve everything she feels, I think he'll be like, of course, like,
I'll dump Debbie in an instant.
Yeah. I don't you feel that way? I think he'd be like, it's always been you, you know, like.
No, dude, Debbie doesn't exist.
No,
Debbie's
not real. We haven't seen her. Debbie does jack shit. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird that, like, I guess what you're saying is, oh, look at all that. No, but it's weird because, like, yeah, Miranda's normally she's like girl boss, right? She's a fucking high-powered lawyer. She's going to her office. We see her in like business attire, and like we haven't seen her doing her job in a while. She's like in maternal mode, and now she's in a different kind of maternal mode because she's fucking kowtowing to Steve. But like, and then Carrie's like bringing home the bacon in this one. It's sort of a role reversal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's yeah. It's a complex, a lot of moving parts.
It does. Oh, and then I do want to point out Carrie says blame it on the baby. Like, cuz she's like, Miranda, just leave. Just get out of there. I'm like, but what will he think? And it's like, just blame it on the baby. And that's what they're there for, and it's absolutely true. You can blame anything on the baby now.
Yeah. I mean, you've sent me a video of your baby. Everyone knows Lark's a greater wild card by the day. She's gained confidence. She's gained size. She's unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. She's great. And but yeah, no. And
she's so funny.
Dude, I know. I'm just there. It's just like every day I've got like 2 or 3 videos where it's like, damn, this is good. This is good shit, Lark.
I mean,
I feel like an asshole just being like, look at my baby shit. Look at my baby shit. But this is like a good baby. It's not like a dumb baby.
No. And I'll vouch, John. I'm a fucking professional. I don't like babies.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, I'm not a baby guy. You're the baby guy. So yeah, this is actively a funny baby, which genetically she should be. This is how that works. She should be, if she's not extremely smart and extremely funny, this is putting a lot of pressure on her.
Mm-hmm.
But if she's not, it will be surprising. She's got a lot in her favor that way. From
she'll be a real Jack Berger if she's not very funny and very. Yes. Did you say handsome in there or pretty? I'll assume so.
I didn't, but it was coming. Yeah, I didn't have time for all the words, you know. But oh shit, oh there it is.
Yeah.
He's showing his hair. All right.